So many people on dating apps these days, their common experience is being ghosted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you've heard from a million people
Yeah.
about feeling like, hey, we were having a good chat and this person just disappeared.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to someone who feels like they've got ghosted?
I would say try and have the reasonable expectations. Unfortunately, in the digital world, people see each other as disposable and there's very minimal investment. So they don't always feel like they owe somebody an explanation. And usually when they're ghosting, it's either they've met alternatives or they might have just been on the app to buy some time to heal from a heartbreak. They're not truly looking for a partner. They're just looking to kind of heal some or kind of recover from some kind of stress that they're going through as a coping mechanism. So if they're ghosting you, try not to take it too personal. But if you've been dating that person and then they ghost you, chances are they're hiding information. Ghosters, regardless of their reason, they're still poor communicators. And whatever the reason that they have for ghosting you, the bigger reason is they're not great at communicating. So try and reduce your attraction to people who can't communicate well.
What are the signs when you are dating someone or you're starting to have those early conversations with people, do you think people miss but should be looking out for that shows signs of a healthy, positive relationship?
I would say that sometimes the best predictor of future relationships is their past relationships. And one thing I think people kind of forget is that their patterns don't truly lie. And if you meet a man or a woman even in their late 30s, early 40s, and never been a committed relationship, and you think everything's going well, and for some reason they ghost you or they're no longer in a committed, sometimes that's just their patterns. Maybe they struggle with commitment. Or if you find that these people in previous relationships were always unfaithful, or in previous relationships it never really went past 3 months, chances are people are their patterns. So just try and pay, doesn't mean you judge them completely, but pay attention to if they do fall off and they don't want to commit, it might not be personal. It might just be their pattern in previous relationships where they're just not used to settling down. They don't know how to, they don't have the skills and tools to, so they will find it difficult. Other people, because they've always been in 4 or 5 year long relationships, they only have the habits for long-lasting relationships. So even when you've just started dating, they'll kind of treat you like a girlfriend and it can accelerate into a relationship a bit faster. So their previous patterns is something to pay attention to.
And that second pattern can also be negative.
Yeah.
Because you could just get into a relationship too quickly with someone.
Because they're just in those habits.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not actually compatible. They're just in those habits, particularly if they've just come out of a relationship. They might just be in the habit of calling every day, arranging to see you on the weekends, doing all of those things, which feels great. But if they're not actually healed, it will turn into love bombing because they're accelerating the residual feelings from their previous relationship onto you. And it kind of accelerates the relationship faster than what the psychological compatibility is. So you might find yourself catapulted into a relationship by somebody who's just in that habit of doing that. And that can also be a problem.